It's been one.
Jeez. Welcome back, everybody, to the Heart Attack Recovery Ward.
Oh.
I'm Perry. I'll be your nurse for the day. And with me, as always, is the bare naked ladies.
I got the boom anime to make it think the wrong things. I had to.
Chicken to China, the Chinese chicken. No, I was telling Erica a story off air about getting very aggressively surprised with 1 week by the bare naked ladies on the radio as I was driving earlier this week. And yeah, then he used it against me immediately.
And, you know, this whole episode, I've wanted to like bring back things that happened like when I first kind of was on the show.
Yeah.
Remember when somebody complained that we scared them?
Oh, yeah. And he almost ran off the road.
Yeah, so maybe that happened to somebody.
That's possible, yeah. But hey, welcome to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. The Whiskey Mutant is with me, as he always is. This is episode 300
Holy.
of the podcast. I oddly enough, don't have a whole lot of stuff planned for this episode.
You know,
because
there's a lot going on.
That's just
days.
how it goes. And, oh my gosh, maybe we should put the headphones back on.
Sorry,
no,
we're back.
It's all good. This has been a very big and exhausting week. We moved into our new house on Tuesday, which if you're watching the video version, you can actually see our basement right now, which is a good indication that we are also not finished with getting everything ready and renovated down here just yet. But the good thing is within the next few weeks, we will have our general setup pretty much ready to go on the opposite side of the basement. We'll do a little studio tour.
Perry put his address down and right below so you can come check it out.
Oh, yeah. Please just show up at my house. Please. I would love that. I haven't told anybody about what my address is, not for that specific reason at all. But yeah, mentally preparing for this episode too has been kind of interesting because for most of the week I've just kind of put it off, and then I started talking about it on the live stream last night, and I started talking about it with Lucy, and I got a little emotional like thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just, you know, almost 6 years of the show, 6-year anniversaries next month. So, and I hate to do like a bunch of anniversary episodes, so we'll do the episode 300. I think is a pretty huge milestone, and so I wanted to kind of take this year's milestone episode as the 300th episode.
Yeah,
kind of reflection and whatnot. But I also don't want to do. We've got stuff we're still drinking.
Congratulations!
Thank you.
You did this.
I'm the father.
You're the father. You've been on them all except one.
Except one. But here's the thing.
You edited that one.
I did edit that one. There are also a couple of episodes that are like part 1 and part 2. So I don't know if like that just counts as one episode or if that counts as 2 for 1.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. It doesn't count.
But
next,
I love you.
Next, I love you too.
Thank you for letting me be part of this.
Thank you so
I said
much
it on
for
the Patreon stuff, but it's a big deal, especially going from listening to the podcast for so long to being part of it, and then you hit 200 on there, and now all of a sudden here I am again, 300.
Yeah, 2 years. Later.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's wild that you have been on the podcast for 2 years now. And, I always say this when we bring up your tenure on the show, but you were so willing and ready to hop on when I needed you the most. 2021 was such a tumultuous year for the podcast. And it's so weird to say that because you would anticipate it being 2020. But with 2020 and the pandemic and everything, we just kind of rolled with the punches, and it almost became like the new norm for it. And once we had a couple of weeks of figuring that out, it just was like business as usual. But in 2021, Swan was going through a bunch of stuff. He wound up having to move, and I was like, I need somebody. I can't do this by myself. And so I originally posited the idea to you on when you and April were taking me back to our house the last night of the meetup that year.
When you got home and you got all the mail out of your mailbox, and then you gave me the mail and just walked into your house.
Oh, I forget about that part of the story. that solidified our relationship. I feel
you were like, here, take my mail, and then you just walked off into.
I went into the sunset. Yeah, and that was just the way that I.
And that's the month I paid Perry's bills.
And that I've never recovered. He sent in a 1 penny check, and I have never recovered from that.
His credit crashed and everything.
Oh, that was already in the pisser. But you were so instrumental in getting the show back on track for me, and making me readjust again to what my expectations kind of were for the show. And for so long, it was business. Like, just really got to focus on making this a great product. And we still do. But we still maintain so much creative and familiar energy with each other that gets translated into this just being an hour and a half of a lot of fun, hanging out, talking about bourbon, talking about nerdy stuff. Just it's in many ways the most alert that I am throughout a week, but also the most carefree.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
It's been my favorite time ever. Time we record is just like you said, hanging out and just taking, like, for that 2 hours that we're here doing all the stuff, it's like there's nothing stressful. There's no stress. It's like our little, like, break from the world.
Yeah. Shut off your brain for a little bit. Yeah. And I think it would only get worse if I didn't get this kind of out of the way up front too, because we've got some things we're going to get to drinking and celebration and everything. But thank you guys so much for the support that you have given me and the show in all of its many shapes and forms and ups and downs over the past 300 episodes. And, you know, that's not even counting like bonus episodes and Patreon stuff. And slow clap for the audience. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Genuinely have made some of the best friends I've ever had in my life over the past 6 years. Stronger connections than I have ever had with anybody, I would say. And I mean, without you guys listening every single week, we couldn't have gotten this far. We couldn't have gotten to 300 episodes. It would have been me banging my head against the wall going, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? You know, but, and I do feel like I'm a broken record when I talk about how grateful I am, for you guys, but it's a sign of sincerity. I hope that I truly, truly do mean it. And just infinitely thankful for the community and the people and the support for 6 straight years.
Damn it.
And I don't want to spend this whole thing patting myself on the back either, because that's not what this is about. this is just an episode for us to hang out and chat and everything. And we normally, we've kind of glossed over this, but we normally kick off episodes with Flying Blind or Sips and Snacks.
I have Flying Blind.
I'm very excited for that. I guess I got to look away then.
Yes, you do.
I got no idea what he's pouring for me. I don't even remember when we started Flying Blind. I think it was pretty early on in the podcast from what I remember. Like at least first 50 episodes.
I mean, I don't even remember the first episode I ever listened to. It was pretty low, but like I feel like Flying Blind has just always been there to me.
Yeah.
It's
synonymous with TIMBP.
I won't tell you anything about this till we start talking about it, obviously. But I
don't drink it till I drink it.
Right. Exactly. But this is, it's a special, but it's not special. I guess you'll understand that.
Like, yeah.
Okay. It actually smells really good.
It smells pretty special. It smells like it smells very familiar, I will say. But also like I might have saved this for a special occasion if I ever had it in the past.
I'm trying to think. I have not drank a lot of this. I've actually given a lot of samples of it out.
Interesting.
And my neighbor really liked it. So he got a lot because he would always share a lot of his stuff. So, but he's, for some reason, the few times he came over, he always wanted this. That's probably better than the last time I remember.
That Kentucky Hug is so nice.
Right?
It's got the Kentucky Hug and it's got the spread through the chest, like into your...
It's tobacco-y.
Yeah.
And barrel-y. But it's also kind of, I would say, pie crusty. Like a pie crust. Just like a homemade pie crust. It's pretty good.
I immediately get wild turkey on this.
Do you?
So are you wearing your wild turkey hat?
It's not wild turkey.
I gotta retrain for Matt Madness, man.
I know, right?
I got it.
If I get a chance to even compete to be in it again, I gotta train because
I might get demoted to.
I might not even be allowed to try. I guess.
That's fair. I truly do not know what this is, Ben. I very much lean towards it being wild turkey.
It's honestly something that we never talk about.
Really?
The brand and as a whole. So I was looking back, and I think it was the third episode I was on. This was like the first time I ever contributed to like something new. I was like, I got something, and you were like, oh, let's review it. So I was like, I remember being very proud about finding this or getting this, and just thinking like, oh, I contributed to the episode, the review.
If you think that I have an infinite database of knowledge and memories of everything that we've done on the podcast, you would be wrong.
It's true.
I remember so little of what is happening. I remember like big moments,
yeah.
But there are times where like I try to recall. I have no idea what this is.
I don't remember anything we said about it. I just remember when I saw it the other day, I was like, I want to bring that back out because I was like, I remember us having it. I just don't remember what we said.
No clue.
This was I went to Cincinnati, and Rabbit Hole had just put out their single barrels.
Right.
And I grabbed one of these things. It's got the rabbit on the skateboard. This is
103.55
Rabbit Hole single barrel cast strength.
Only 4 years, 1 month.
Party Source. So I was like, oh, I want to bring back a bottle that we had, and that was like one of the first new things that we tried when I started.
That's so funny. I completely forgotten about this.
See him there, skateboarding over there.
The light's too bright.
I feel like this is better than what we thought.
Oh, it's so much better. It's opened up a lot. I don't know why. Maybe I'm not drinking enough water. A lot of whiskey has been pretty dry for me recently, and this is no exception.
This is dry to me.
Even at like a lower proof and 4 years old.
Yeah.
It's quite dry.
Yeah.
I am getting more of the like apple pie notes, like especially the pie crust.
Yeah.
Going on.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
So yeah, go back. I mean, that was holy cow. I think it was like the second or third episode I was ever on.
Yeah. That would have been mid 2021.
Yeah. 180s, 190s, somewhere around there.
Golly. That's been a minute too.
Yeah.
Dang. Thanks for bringing that back, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to get into the pours that I brought to the table this week.
I see them over there. All right. Okay. So,
well, we got to talk about what we've been drinking first.
Right. But let me make a request.
Okay.
I told you before we started.
Yes.
That I have a story that I was playing in my head, whether I should go on Patreon or whether I should just put it on the main episode, because I'm more, it's kind of a personal embarrassment. Some people may listen to it and be like, what are you talking about? That's not embarrassing, whatever. And then some people will take this, and I guarantee this will be a running joke probably for the next year or two. So I'm going to tell it on the main feed for everybody.
He's trusting you all with a lot of responsibility.
So with that being said, I want to have something to sip on when I'm telling this.
Okay. Do you want to start high proof
and
work down to the funk, or do you want to start with the funk?
Will the funk be lasting longer on my palate as opposed to maybe...
This will destroy the funk. Like, it is its own animal.
Well, you just tell me. Are you going to talk about these?
Yes.
Is this what you've been drinking too?
Part of it.
Okay. Why don't you say say one you've been drinking, and we will drink that, and I will save a little bit for when I tell mine.
Well, this has a story with it too.
Okay.
So I'll just go ahead and talk a little bit about this one, and then I'll talk about the other bottle when we get to drinking on it as well. But
I know this. I've seen this picture.
For the past, I mean, it's been longer than 2 months.
Paid is paid. I see it.
It's crazy that he's living here now in that little dollhouse. That
I told you I'd come back.
I'm happy you're here, man.
I made sure you got that bottle with my magic.
Shut up. You always try to take...
Pete, go watch Bluey.
He ain't got no magic.
Anyway, so really since we figured out that we were going to be moving, I was just like, well, and we finished the bottle that I opened when we moved into our old house on Flying Blind, right? Is that how we did it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember if we did it for Pours from the Floor or Flying Blind, but it was an old Heaven Hill pre-fire 6-year bottle and bond. It was magical. And so like, I kind of had the thought of, well, why don't I just make whatever I open in the new house a Dusty as well? And Dusties are so pricey right now that it's really, really difficult to justify getting another bottle like that.
Yeah.
So I've just been kind of waiting, and I had this bottle coming in that we'll talk about. And I was like, maybe that'll be what it is. But I got so excited about it, I went ahead and opened it when it got to the house. And then Tuesday, when we were in the process of moving to our new house, where we had been, there was a little pawn shop like 2 minutes from the house. And at night, you know, they got all the lights turned off and everything, but
easy to break into.
Yeah. I stole so much from them.
Right.
you could see through the windows because there were, security lights or whatever, that there were guitars hanging on the wall. And so I was like, well, I'm on my way out of town. I meant to stop by here before we left. I may as well go in and see what they have. Terrible selection of guitars. I mean, just a bunch of like beginner crap and knockoff brands and whatnot. But I like going through pawn shops and seeing what video games they have too and electronics, and they're usually priced pretty well.
Right.
And I go to the back. This guy has 3 rows of 2x4 shelves that he has built into the wall. Unfinished, just like bracketed
Probably made
and
the
everything.
specs like perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Tested the weight on them all and stuff.
And I start looking, and there's old bottles of Maker's Mark up there. Couple of like UK championship bottles. There was like, I can't remember if this is exactly what it was for, but when they did that special label that had like red and blue on it, I think it was like a 4th of July release or something. There was one that was double waxed, and the wax was like down past the label. Then in the corner, there's one with gold wax.
Caught your eye.
Come on. I go, how old do you think that is? He was like, I don't know, man, but trying to explain to me what a private selection was. I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. Would you take 100 for it? And he kind of stood there and looked at it for a minute and went, nah, yeah, I could do 100 for it. Audio listeners, love you to death.
What?
Video watchers, you get to actually see it. So this is a good reason for you to go watch the video version too when it drops on YouTube 2 days after the audio version. This was a fully sealed Maker's Mark, personally selected for gold wax with tax strip bottle that I got at a pawn shop of all places for $100.
Let me see this. They even took the name off of it.
The guy cut with an X-Acto knife. I imagine it was an X-Acto knife. The name off of this bottle for whomever it was that they got this from. Could have been like somebody's, and it got inherited or whatever. The funny thing about this too, my grandfather on my mom's side, he worked for KU in Lexington, Kentucky Utilities, for a long time and wasn't really much of a bourbon drinker, but he got, yeah, right? I mean, it's got to be 8 to 10 years old.
Yeah.
It's very dark, is what we're getting at. But he was gifted one of these bottles. Had his name on it and everything. But it was completely empty. So I don't know when.
What's good is that?
Yeah, come on. I mean, same exact box. Same exact label and everything. The thinking is that this is probably late 60s, early 70s.
Crazy.
I don't know exactly, but this is the best find I've ever had. The most ridiculous. It didn't have a date.
And you got to name your price.
Yeah. I probably could have said 50.
I was going to say, what? You should have started low.
I know.
You're too happy, though.
I was too excited.
You're too nice.
I'm too nice. Everybody knows. Anyway, so Tuesday on my way into town, I brought that into our house and cracked it once we kind of started to get it settled in and everything. And it was a very nice reward for a long summer and just the most exhausting process of trying to find stability again. But I would like to
boy.
drink this with you.
Okay. Is this screw top?
It's a screw top.
Okay. Just making sure. Oh my god.
Maker's Mark, never change.
Holy. That does smell funky.
It is so dusty funky.
Look at it. It's oil on my glass.
It's insane, dude.
90 proof?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be
It is soaking the glass.
10 years old.
I wonder what the proof... Did they change the entry proof back then?
I don't know.
It's like, I wonder how close to, like...
Oh, it's so dark.
I mean, look at that.
It shouldn't be this. It's Makers. It's Makers.
Oh, it takes you a second, too. You're like, okay.
Because it is so funky.
Like, this is Pawpaw's bourbon right here.
Yeah.
This ain't no sweet finished in honey and...
This is what Jimmy Russell thinks of when he talks about old bourbon
Yeah.
from the good old days.
It's so deep, too.
It
It's
is.
like...
It is really rich. It's really intense.
If you could imagine your nose trying to like go through layers to figure out what it's smelling, like this is like you can't make it. Like I feel like I have to keep going back and I keep getting farther and farther and farther into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, I think this is the oldest bottle that I've ever owned. No, that might not be true. I can't remember for sure.
All right, I want to drink this.
All right.
All right, cheers to
Cheers.
the new place, to 300, to Maker's Mark.
Thanks, Pete. I told you to.
Thanks, Pete.
You're welcome. I do love you guys.
Love you too, buddy.
Can I have some?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
No.
We'll put some in the dog bowl for you.
It's so thick. What is that finish? It's Boozy Werther's original put hair on your chest.
Okay. Oh, it's so good. It gets better and better and better. It's opened up so much. It's not, when I first had it on Tuesday, it was really, really funky on the palate.
That's butterscotch, man.
I mean,
That's like drinking butterscotch.
This is amazing.
It's like drinking a thing of butterscotch.
It makes sense why people fell in love with and became so dedicated to the brand of Maker's Mark all those years ago.
And the more I smell it, the more I get that Maker's like DNA. Like there's part of it there. But like when I take a drink of this, it's like drinking melted, like a piece of melted butterscotch candy.
The crazy thing about this too, if this is from around the time that we think it is, this very likely could have been one of the first batches or distilled products made at Maker's Mark. Bill Samuels Sr.
Yeah, it says there's his name on the back of it.
Yeah. On Marjorie.
That cheesy foil, that gold that everybody thought was cool. That's butterscotch, man. Pure melted butterscotch.
It's bonkers how good it is. It shouldn't be this good, I feel like. Like, am I crazy?
I think you need to reach out to Maker's Mark
I think so too.
and see if you can confirm around when that was bottled.
That's a really, really good idea, actually. Because, of course, my first instinct was to send Fred a text and go, What do you think? How old do you think this actually is?
Tell me about this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's like I said, it's gotten better since I opened it.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me.
Of course. I saw it and got excited to share it with you, and I cracked it and drank it.
You want to tell them about when you found it, what you did? You tried to.
I kept trying to call you.
And I was in a very important meeting at work.
I thought maybe you were taking a nap after work. Like, honestly.
No. To the point where I had to text him really fast and go, I'm in a meeting. Because he texted
and
over
then I felt bad.
But I thought it was so funny because it was like, I had to like be like,
and your response was, are you having to pawn stuff off? Are you trying? Is something not working financially for you? Moving into a new house and it's already that dire?
I don't remember the last time I was in a pawn shop.
I like to go every now and then just to see like what weird guitars they might have. But
I never would have thought to look for bourbon.
No, not even once. And the thing is, too, the guy was like, I've got more back here that I haven't put out yet. So I'll be back.
All of a sudden, like 2 months later, people are like, pawn shops are like, bourbon taters, stay away. I heard on a podcast.
You're ruining the pawn shop market.
The pawn shop community has been ruined by taters.
It winds up being on Bourbon Pursuit.
Yeah.
It's like the in-depth analysis of how this started, and I have to get interviewed. And I'm like, look, man, I didn't mean anything by it.
You're like, this is what he felt like when he ruined McKenna 10. Oh.
Anyway, I'll get to the other bottle or two in a moment, but time to put you in the hot seat, buddy boy.
Okay. What have I been drinking? Well,
you're drinking more of this Maker's Mark. That's what you're drinking.
I was at Bourbon Beyond on Sunday. Just as a spectator, did not have, I just had a normal pass that somebody let me use that they weren't going to use that day. No interviews, nothing like that. Like unfortunately, but it was fun. For my daughter's 15th birthday, I got her and April some VIP passes to Sunday of Bourbon and Beyond because Bruno Mars was headlining, and she loves Bruno Mars. So if you've never been to Bourbon and Beyond, if you are watching somebody on the main stage and you want to be close, even if you've got like the VIP standing area, you got to get there like hours
early
before.
Yeah.
So we get there and we walk around, listen to some music. Me and April have a few cocktails. And so I had the Willett Kroger Chris's pick that they had because they have a bar there that you can get all the Bourbon and Beyond picks from. And I said, I couldn't drink a lot that day because I had to drive home that night. But I was like, give me the Willett. I would have bought 2 or 3 anyway. Instead of paying a couple small prices, I just paid one price. Give me the Willett. It was good. It was a 9-year, I believe.
Nice.
So good. Wild Turkey had the best old-fashioned cocktail there, I believe. And their booth was phenomenal. They had old bottles in there. They had pictures of like Eddie and Jimmy, and like it was just a cool bar. I got to meet one of your friends, Adam.
Yeah, Adam, who actually used to work for Rabbit Hole.
Oh.
And now works for Heaven's Door.
And he shared a pour of one of their new products coming out, or it may have just came out. It was really good. So I got to have that, talk to him for a bit. And then, so it's like 5:00. April and Addison go to start securing their spot for Bruno Mars, who doesn't play till 9:30ish. So I'm by myself. And I'm going to watch Bruno Mars, but I'm going to sit in the back, and I don't care if I'm front row or anything like that. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I got like one more hour to drink and then I'm shutting myself off. And so I'm wandering around, and I go over to the bourbon and culinary stage where they do food things and like bourbon related stuff. You can see like podcasters there, like they do like panels and stuff. And there's a line that forms before the shows start that if you want to be involved, like you want to taste like what they're pouring or something, the first 30 people there get a ticket and you get to go sit at these or stand at this spot and they pour you what's going on. And I look, and the last show is Fred Minnick's like blind
Bourbon
challenge,
blind,
bourbon blind.
Yeah.
Which I guess he had people vote through the week, like on what bourbons you like, and they picked 5 and they do them blind. And I'm like, there's like 3 people in line, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm going to get in line for this. So I get in line, and I get my spot. I wait there like 30.
I'm really happy that Fred is involved in this story somehow.
Fred is very involved, and we'll see how this plays out.
All right, here we go.
So I go to my spot. I'm like the front row of people. Like there's these little tables in the front. It says friends and family of the host. So there's a bunch of people that obviously Fred knows. He's up there shaking hands with them. He's like, oh, this guy's like over the Derby or something. And like, this guy is like this brand or whatever. I don't know. And I'm going to say this. I am not the person. I'm very fun to be around. I'm very loud sometimes, but I know my spot, and I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm the whiskey mutant, like I pair stuff and all that. I don't do that.
I know.
I don't do that. And Fred's walking around, and I wasn't even going to like get his attention or anything like that. I'm just not doing that. This is like borderlines like what you would see at a distillery. Like some people were there probably never even had bourbon. Some people are there because their spouse drug them there.
Yeah.
Some people think they know more than anybody.
Yeah.
So we get these blinds, and he's asking people like their notes, and they're handing a microphone. And I was like, I'm just enjoying the show. And what you can say whatever you want about Fred Minnick, but the dude is like, he borderlines like a rock star when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah.
He's up there. Yeah. There's all these celebrities I can recognize are over in the corner that are watching him. He's talking to them while he's up there. He's doing this. He's leading a whole Bourbon and Beyond tasting right now. And I'm just enjoying the show.
Yeah.
I follow along. I'm not trying to be seen, nothing like that. We ended up, it was very, very like regular pours. I mean, I think Old Forester 100 was the favorite of the crowd. There was like Monk's Road, which I'm going to leave my.
That's log still,
yeah.
Right?
I'm gonna leave what I felt about that off the podcast because it was I don't know. Let's just not talk about what I was thinking in my head when I was tasting that. Like there's Jack Daniel's stuff like that. Anyway, so these were my last pours of the night. And we got done, and Fred was like, "Hey, I'm going to go over. I'm going to go over by the sign, and if you saw on my stories or like you've seen posts, like there's that infamous picture of Fred, like doing his sniffing face, and it's on this big poster, and you could take pictures in front of it and all this stuff." And he said, "I'm going to be over there. If anybody wants to come grab a picture, say hi, talk about bourbon, whatever." So I was like, okay. The whole time I was like, what can I do? What can I do to be funny? Like a picture I can get with Fred to like send to the group or anything. I'm like, I'm just going to walk over here and see what happens.
The secondhand embarrassment I am already feeling is monumental.
Yeah. You're going to feel it.
Oh no.
You're going to feel it.
Oh no.
You're going to feel this.
Oh, no.
So I go over. I get in line. He's sitting there. He's got his glass. And I go, what can I do? What can I do? And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that about a year ago on Halloween, I made a reel and I dressed up like Freddy Krueger, but I put glasses on and an ascot, and I was Freddie Minnick. And I made a picture where like my face is side by side with that picture. And it's like Freddy Krueger and Fred Minnick. And I have talked to Fred online about this because he loved that. He actually asked me for a copy of the picture so he could use it. All this stuff. Like, he loved it. And, but I've never had a full-blown conversation with him. So, here we go. Here's where the Whiskey Mutant has one of the most embarrassing personal feelings ever surrounding bourbon or this community. I get up to the line and I'd had that picture pulled up and I was like, I shook his hand. He was like, hey, thanks for coming. I was like, man, I just wanted to say your tastings, you're like a rock star up there. And he was like, thanks. And I go, and in my head, I wanted to recreate that picture of us in front of that picture. We were both going to take a picture, like smelling our glasses in front of that, and it was going to be like recreated. And I hold this out, and he looks at it, and he goes, oh, that's the thing Derek did. So I go, oh. I said, I don't even think I said, I kind of blanked out for a second. And like I warned you before, I don't go out of my way to say I'm the Whiskey Mutant or anything. And he goes, I love that. And so still I'm kind of like, oh, well, he loves it. But he goes, do you want to grab a picture? And I hit him with this. I go, I'm good. I just wanted to say you do a good job. And I just walked away. And I thought long and hard if I was going to ever tell this story to anybody about how I showed Fred Minnick a picture that I made that he liked. And he not only didn't recognize me, he said, that's what Derek made. And then I didn't get a picture at all because I couldn't. I just walked away. I said, no, I'm good. Thanks for your time. And I walked away. And I contemplated to myself if I would ever tell this to anybody. So.
That's so uncharacteristic of you. That's me. That's a thing I would do.
I'm telling you, like...
Oh, yeah, Terry made that. Larry did a great job with that. Yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, so that's my story.
Have I started rubbing off on you?
You've done something on me.
My abs hurt.
So that's my story.
That's so funny.
Of the time I met Fred Minnick. And I showed him a picture that I made. And he called me Derek.
Oh, my gosh.
And I still walked away without a picture.
How is it?
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
And
I just have so many questions. Is it my fault?
I could. No, it's my fault.
No, but I mean, like,
I could have done so many things. I could have said, I could have just been like, I could have just withdrawn everything that I like normally do and just been like, hey, it's me. Like, I do the pairings and stuff. Remember when I did that? Or like, hey, I'm on the podcast with Barry or something. I just walk up to him and I'm like, I love the tasting. I pull that picture out, and before I can even say anything, he goes, oh, I love that. That's what Derek did. And I've just completely just turned off. I go, I'm good, and walked away. I'm sure he was like, what the hell was that?
So you literally didn't say like, no, I'm good, thank you, though? You were just like, I'm good, and you pieced.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I just walked off.
funniest thing, dude.
Yeah. So.
Man,
Yeah, that's why I decided.
Okay.
I was
All
like,
right.
I'm going to put that on the main episode. Whatever happens, happens. So yeah. Yeah.
That's definitely getting clipped from this episode and put up as like
You can make it. You
a
can.
TikTok or
Yeah.
a separate video or whatever.
Yeah.
God, that is so.
Do what you will.
That is so
Happy
funny.
300.
That is so unreasonably funny. In a picture? I don't think so.
I did. I can
You're
see
a
myself.
Seinfeld character.
I can see myself in my head. I said, I'm good. And I immediately turned and I walked right back into the grass because it's the field where all like the standing like posters are and you're just in grass. And I just walked off to the grass and I went into the just the walkway of all the tents and stuff.
Like the main thoroughfare.
Yeah, and I just
Yeah.
walked around and I didn't know what was happening
Oh,
for about 10 minutes.
man, that is so funny.
I think I just
Ugh.
muttered like Derek a few times and I was like, Derek.
You're driving home. Derek.
It's like the
Brushing
scene,
your teeth.
the scene in the Christmas Story where he's like, "You want a football or something, kid?" He's like, "Yeah, a football." And then he
Yeah.
slides down. He's like, "Football." He's like, "No!" And he stops himself. But I was too far.
Except you didn't do that.
I didn't stop. I was too far
All you
gone.
did was just keep walking.
Yeah, skip walk.
I love that. I love that so friggin' much. It's just, oh man, I'm going to be thinking about that for a long time. You want to drink some more bourbon?
Yeah.
So this is another what have I been drinking recently. Sorry.
Because, like, that's why I said, like, maybe somebody doesn't understand the embarrassment because it's like, it's just Fred Minnick. And like, no, I know it's just Fred Minnick. But
It's
like,
not about that.
No, it's not about that at all.
Fred.
It's not like I was like starstruck. It was like, oh. It was like, I feel like between the relationship you have with him and I've literally messaged this guy and we talked about this reel and everything to the point where he had me send him things. I thought maybe he would recognize me for a second, even at the picture. No, he's called me a different name and then said, "Do you want a picture?"
The funniest thing about this is that we're going to get him on the show when you are available, and he's going to see you and go, "I've made a horrible mistake."
Because I'm literally wearing the same hat. I even had a Whiskey Newton shirt on.
Now, I'll give Fred the benefit of the doubt here. During Bourbon and Beyond, he drinks a lot of bourbon.
Oh, and I was going to say, I should have said at the top, like, I'm not like holding a grudge. Like, the guy saw thousands of people that week and he sees them daily, new people saying stuff. I'm not like saying, like, who should have recognized me? But in that moment, when you hold a picture of yourself that you made and he at least kind of got my name right, it doesn't matter.
It makes you feel like about half an inch tall.
Exactly. I was like, mm.
All right. So this next pour was selected by Rat Porter, I think his name was. No, it's Matt Porter of ADHD.
Matt Lorder.
Yeah, ADHD whiskey.
Did he like blend this?
Yes.
Oh, look at that picture.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's been working out. Everybody knows that.
Oh my
It looks
gosh,
good.
I love this one.
So this is a blend of 7 barrels, I think is what he said. That are, yes, 7 barrels. I'm pretty sure it's MGP.
Oh,
Finished in Willet Purple Top barrels.
he's even got purple on the. Okay.
So this is Whiskey King 2.
Now, I know I said all my stuff about finishing, but if you finish something in a willet barrel, okay,
You're going to get a pass
you
from
get
the
a
Whiskey
pass.
Mutant.
You get a pass from me. It smells like willet.
It really does.
It smells very similar to what we had earlier. Oh, it smells fresh. It smells like a barrel, and it smells funky but sweet. I'm repeating myself from the Patreon stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's nice.
As you can tell, I put a little bit of a hurting on this bottle, but
Well, yeah, dude. 120 proof, too. Oh, yeah.
that's my sweet spot.
Did you...
Serrated knife.
Okay. Did you do the burning thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
To be fair, I couldn't find our torch.
Oh.
Or
Perry sent me a picture. He's like, how am I supposed to get into this? And there's literally
there was no
the
pull tab.
smoothest wax job ever. I mean,
Yeah.
there's...
But the crazy thing is, the makers from 60 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever, had a pull tab.
I'm surprised that wax didn't just disintegrate.
Didn't at all.
No. Okay, this smells delicious.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Matt Porter. Wow. From the middle of
From the
middle of my tongue down to my chest, there's nothing but flavor right
Yeah.
now.
The finish is incredible.
It's almost like an orange creamsicle.
Mm-hmm.
That's delicious.
I texted him as soon as I took a drink of it. I was like, Matt Porter, I have said it before and I will say it again.
Is that sold out?
I don't know. I would bet probably so because it made it out of Patreon for him. So if it's going to the Facebook group.
That's great.
Now, if it's not sold out, I would like to get another bottle.
Oh, I would buy a bottle
Yeah.
for sure.
It's
oh,
it's crazy good.
there's something else that just popped up in there. I don't know what it is. It's almost like a root beer.
I was going to say like grape hard candy.
Maybe a grape soda,
Yeah.
something like that. Oh, that's good.
It's really freaking good.
It's real good.
Love it. I don't know where most of my whiskey is. So,
I was gonna say there's only like 2 boxes over there.
yeah, I mean, I've got bags, but I mean, there's really not a whole lot, especially not a lot that we haven't had recently.
Did
as
you
well.
break any bottles during the move?
No,
Good
not a single one.
I could smell this all day.
I know. So I got a couple extra pours for us to go through. We're going to end on a dusty because we got to pour something extra.
I wish my name was Dusty instead of Eric.
You put them together, you get Derek.
That's true. What is that?
Whew, that's funky. That's a funky bunch.
That smells like honey, but it's been in like a medicine bottle. That smells like honey
Interesting.
NyQuil. And it tastes like it too. Whoa! That's burning my tongue. What is that?
Okay, I thought that was a blend. Actually, that's exactly what it is. So, at the end of Bourbon and Beyond last year,
Oh, fitting. Yeah.
I got a couple of pours at the fancy bar, and I just put them in a little in that sample bottle and took it home. So this is a blend of a couple of different things. I know for sure that there is a Four Roses pick in here. At least one Four Roses pick. Maybe a Knob Creek. I'm trying to remember everything that was there last year. I do think that what's happening with the like medicinal thing is that the funkiness from the turkey that was in there before has stuck around a little bit, and it's almost like finished the
It is weird.
I like it.
So you've just invented a new infinity bottle process.
Yeah.
You take
Get something really pungent.
a really dusty something, and then you immediately fill it up with the stuff, and you let it sit for a year.
Yeah. Possibly in the heat for a little while too. I don't know. Depends on where that
Was in your
box
car?
was.
That one that was in your car?
No, I think that was actually in the house, but it would have been in the garage. I think. Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm flying by the seat of my pants at this point.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I like it. But I think our last pour for the episode as we get into all of our things that we do towards the end is going to be fittingly another Dusty. This is a 1978 Wild Turkey 101
Oh, baby.
from Don Nishida.
Of course. Couldn't do things without mentioning Don. Oh, I have a shout out to our buddy Amos from the Moose Lounge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get to see him recently?
I saw him, and it was the weirdest thing. He goes, "Hey, I'm listening to you right now," and he was listening to the last episode that just came out.
Where did you see him?
I can't say.
Work.
I was leaving. He was coming into work, and he was listening to the episode. So shout out to Amos and our Moose friends over there. I got to get on that podcast.
Man, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
They gave me a blind when I was on there of every pick that had been done under the podcast banner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've handed off several of those picks to
man.
Amos. So appreciate you listening and making me do the opposite of Fred Minnick, and I felt very good about that. So when somebody said, "I'm listening to you right now," that felt cool. So appreciate you, Amos, and everybody over at the Moose Lounge.
Well, we do have a barrel ring this week.
We do.
We do. And if you want to send in a barrel ring, that is a voicemail that we listen to here on the podcast. You can call the number 859-428-8253. Not bad for no headphones.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever actually harmonized on anything, but
No, I was trying. This smells really good, by the way.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jared. Apologies. I keep forgetting to leave you guys a barrel ring. Just to let you know, we had a fantastic trip to Disney the other week. All the advice and tips came in handy. I just didn't really get to use all of them. There was a shockingly little bit of time for just chilling out and drinking during the day. We had a service setting up on our lightning lanes for us. Mouse brain, we called them. But so it's just line to line to line, not really stopping, hanging out, drinking. But got the special coffee, was bringing in my apple juice every day. So good times. I'm going to call and say thanks for that. Perry, congrats on the house. Really looking forward to getting the new address so I can handwrite some more letters, mail over there so you can throw them out in a new trash can. I think that'll be exciting for everybody. And also, you guys made a question a couple episodes ago, why people don't do it, stage fright and all that. And absolutely, I guarantee you stage fright's part of it. This is tough. There's no edits. There's no redos on these. So, it's something. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Hope school's going good for all the kids. And I will talk to you guys in a week.
Oh.
we got a new regular on barrel rings.
Oh, Bill.
Jared.
Jared.
Thank you so much for calling in, man.
I'm so glad that he mentioned the coffee and the apple juice trick.
Yes. I'm going to outright say this, and this is no slight against anybody who is a supporter of the show. I will not be giving out my new home address to anyone.
If the price is right, though, I will.
Like your home address?
No, yours.
Oh, you get mine out.
Yeah, if the price is right. No, a lot of y'all have my address now, so feel free to do what you want.
It was never an issue of like feeling unsafe. It was just a feeling of I need to keep things a little bit closer to the chest, I think. Just be safer with the amount of like public information that I'm giving out. So ideally we'll find some way to set up like a PO box or something in the future. But I'm sorry. I just can't justify it. I'm really happy living in a place where nobody really knows where we are.
I want to go where nobody knows my name.
It's just, yeah.
Yeah, we need to look into a P.O. box.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Share it.
High proof hot takes. When we've been thinking about something that might have been pissing us off this week.
Pissing us off. What doesn't piss me off, though, is the nose on this. What? The nose on this?
Nothing.
Did you trick me?
No.
I haven't tasted it yet.
No, I didn't. I didn't trick you.
You know what really pisses me off when people trick me?
You piss baby.
Don't even.
It's episode 300.
It was hard enough telling that story.
Yeah, what if I just got out of you telling that story and I was like, you are such a piss baby?
I would have felt worse. I would have walked away. It would have been the first episode I ever walk out on. I just drive away.
Literally nobody's ever done that. I hear your tires like screeching outside.
Oh, God. You know what this episode has taught me?
They just
You
don't
know
make...
what my high proof hot take is? That I fucking wasn't living when the good bourbon was being made.
They just don't make them like they used to.
The Maker's Mark, the Wild Turkey, what are we doing?
Remember the old days?
God, this is good.
Make bourbon great again.
But pissing me off I wasn't back there. I'm sick of it.
It's pissing me
I'm
off.
sick of it. Come buy bourbon for a penny or whatever it costs. Sick of it.
We're getting so unhinged.
I don't know if I have a high proof hot take, I'll be honest. I would say
I don't really either. This has been such a like positive week
spoilers,
for me.
maybe. Like, luckily I have not been spoiled going into what we recommend, but like Ahsoka has been great. But I pretty much got to watch it as soon as it came out.
Oh, I did too.
But the amount of spoilers that even like Disney and stuff is doing is out of control. I would have been like, are you kidding me?
Soon,
if I would have saw some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's an ongoing high proof hot take. I've said it before, but that's the first thing that popped in my head. And then other than not being born in the...
Disney is a large corporate conglomerate. It's my new favorite thing. But, you know, so I guess our high proof hot take is that Disney is a large corporate conglomerate.
But I love Disney. I can't.
Yeah, well, they
Just
don't always make...
shit.
They don't always make the best decisions.
It's true.
Whether it's on the content that they make or... Can you see Marie in the... You missed her scratching herself. It was really, really funny.
There she is.
Marie! Marie! Hi. What are you doing? Yes, Marie.
Little goobers. Support the writer strike. Anyway.
True.
Tips and bits.
Tips and bits.
Ahsoka really was great this week.
How amazing. Spoiler alert. I'm not even going to spoil it. Maybe people haven't seen it. Could you imagine if you took episode 5 and episode 6 and made them into one big thing and you watched that in theaters?
Oh.
I mean, episode 6 was one of the most hardcore, like tough scenes I'd ever seen, just based on like a slow moving Star Destroyer and the music that was going on.
Yeah.
And then a chant that started happening. I was like, holy like, this is blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Amazing show.
There were multiple times where, I mean, same as it was with episode 5, where I just kind of like jumped out of my seat, like, oh my gosh, this is like really happening, and I just kept getting super excited over those little moments.
The music and just the stuff.
Just everything about it was so. It's so much of what I have wanted from Disney Star Wars over the past few years.
I got to just say right now, spoiler alert, it's going to be over a week. The next episode will be out by the time this comes out. The freaking Night Sisters magic and Thrawn is just everything to me.
Thrawn,
the scariest dude ever.
Terrifying, but he's got a beer gut.
He does have a gut. He's been drinking good since he's been in exile.
I as much love and adoration as I have for the Clone Wars and the story between Anakin and Ahsoka, I actually like cried a little bit more in this episode than I did the last one.
Yeah.
Like seeing Ezra reunite with
that was
Sabine.
I teared up.
I was a mess, dude.
They gave us an
perfect.
Ewok. They gave us an Ewok moment with those little turtle guys.
Oh yeah.
What are those? Hitzas or something?
I don't know what they were
something
really
like
called.
So you got your Ewok moment, the cool little creature, because that's really. I mean, we've had Baby Yoda or Grogu, we've had random things, but we've not really had a moment where like a little group of creatures comes up. I'm not counting porgs either.
We had Babu Frick.
Yeah, he was just one guy though.
But then in The Mandalorian, there was a whole group of them.
Yeah, but still, this gave me
Bad baby!
Oh god!
No, baby!
We got Babu, we got that, but like this felt like a real like little tribe that's like they got the rebellion pieces on. I'm like, this is an Ewok moment for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And yeah, the reunion got me, but man, knowing the Night Sisters, and especially playing Fallen Order.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like these chicks do not bow to any man.
They are evil.
They are evil.
With a capital E.
And the fact that something has happened that they've realized how powerful Thrawn is or how smart he is, and they are helping him. I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't know, those stormtroopers are dead.
Every single one of them.
They dead in there.
Yeah. And they are being held together by dark magic.
Yes.
With a K.
You see that red stuff around them and the gold and all that? They dead.
They are dead as doornails.
And Captain Enoch.
Oh, so cool.
That stormtrooper mask with the real face, bad ass.
Oh my gosh. So good, man.
Yeah, but
just some of the most like genuine care of attention to detail that we have gotten in a Star Wars project. I mean, I'm going to say it since the prequel trilogy. Truly since the prequel trilogy. How?
You know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of people saying it's not.
Sick of it! I'm sick of y'all! Sorry, dogs. Now Marie's concerned.
It's okay.
Sorry. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. It's fine when Uncle Eric does it, but it's not okay when
We're
Daddy
used to
does
that
it.
guy yelling.
It's okay.
We don't like you yelling, Dad. I know he's crazy.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's amazing. It's the best. You need to get caught up.
She's checking on YouTube now.
I'm good.
All right, you go lay down. It's okay.
She's holding on to me. Look at that. This is my first baby.
What about me?
You were my fourth baby.
Oh, great. Fourth is still love, too.
I love all my babies equally.
Except that one you forgot about.
All right. We don't want to talk about the dead rabbit.
Oh, Lord.
I've never told you that story. I'll save it.
Okay.
Anyway. I think that does it for this week. I don't really have anything else.
Only thing I can think of is going to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast.
Well, that's a given.
For as little as $1 a month, you can just help us out. You can support the show, but at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. You get to hear everything that we talked about when we kept going off the air this time. You get the bonus content. You get the pregame chats. We did pregame questions. We brought that back this week. Did a little pump chicken wow with a new bottle I got that did not disappoint. But, you know, if you're not on Patreon, you ain't going to hear what we have to say about it. So get on that.
That's a given.
That's a given.
And that's a gibbon.
Huh?
It's an edit.
Oh.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. You know what you can get, though? You can get merch.
You can.
Bourbonshop.threadless.com. Perry puts all the designs up there. You can get some shirts. You can get masks, which we, you know, if you want to use a mask still, you can.
Yeah. I'm going to put up a special 300th episode shirt. It's going to say, I listened to all 300 episodes of This Is My Bourbon Podcast, and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
Oh, you should put up one that just says Derek on it. Derek did that.
I actually might take that picture and put Derek made that
Derek and
underneath
Fred.
it. Yeah.
That'd be funny. But yeah, get some merch there. There's no Whiskey Mutant merch right now because I'm still working on that. So don't worry about it. If you want to send us an email, you can send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. Wherever we decide to tell you to send stuff, if you want to send us samples, we'll let you know there. If you want us to review something or just ask a question, send us an email. You can also ask us questions if you slide into our DMs on social media. You can follow the show at MyBourbonPod. You can follow Perry at PRitter1792. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. We're on TikTok as well. I don't know if Threads is even a thing anymore.
I use it.
Still?
Yeah, I've been using it a lot recently.
You're the only one.
That's not true at all. Actually, if X or Twitter or whatever the crap becomes a paid site,
It's going to be paid?
there is a threat that it is going to be a paid
There's a
service.
Threads about X?
No,
That it's
a
going to be
threat.
paid? A threat.
Yeah. Like
I'm not signed up for that one yet.
Oh, no, I will
Threats?
exclusively be on Threads.
Threats?
Or Blue Sky. I've got a Blue Sky now, too.
I got a Blue Harvest.
I will give you a... Did you know that this podcast actually originally, when it was initially in production, everything that we used for set piece was blue, which led to the production name Blue Harvest, which was a reference to Star Wars. A New Hope was initially their production name was Blue Harvest.
Yeah, I remember that. That's just a little fact for you if you just
see, you're always finding new things out about This Is My Bourbon Podcast, especially if you've been listening for all 300 episodes.
Yeah. If you want to watch us, you can go to youtube.com. My Bourbon Podcast. This is My Bourbon Podcast. All the episodes go up a couple days later. Perry's starting his lives back.
Yeah.
Every Thursday. I'll probably start trying to join him now.
Please. People were asking about you, too.
Well, I got kids stuff. Volleyballs and footballs and balls and balls. But when I'm on, or when I get a chance, I'll jump on there with Perry. Rate, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do the notifications, tell people about us. Be here for 300 more.
I was really waiting for that chair to just break as you leaned back.
That one's about to break too.
Oh, shoot. Did I get the broken one?
Great. Yeah, that chair. I'm
sick of it. All right. Well, we better get out of here before I break this chair.
This Dusty was really good.
It was fantastic. Yeah. Marie, what do you want to say to people? Okay. That's great. Thank you.
Send this stuff. I'll give you this. I want dog treats. Bourbon dog treats.
She's off the mic now.
You want to come back?
It's dog time, everybody. Hey, thank you all so much for listening to 300 episodes of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. It has truly been the pleasure of my life to be able to share these experiences and this journey with you all. Not slowing down anytime soon.
Hell no.
If anything, we're ramping it up even harder than we were before.
Next week.
We're going to be right back here. Maybe not in this. We might be at your house. I don't know yet.
We got mics everywhere.
We
got
do.
mics all around town.
The AC is really loud. I don't know how it's going to sound in the edit.
Mics times 4.
A lot, maybe more.
Probably
6. Sick of it. See y'all next time. Until then, I'm Perry.
I'm Eric.
And this is my Bourbon Podcast.
300, baby, in the books.
Bye.
See ya.